Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Thank you for joining us today. In this episode, we're taking a closer look at a car that has quietly earned its place among the most extraordinary machines ever produced by Oldsmobile. A car that doesn't fit neatly into the usual muscle car mold, yet delivers power numbers that rival the legends of its era. Today, we're talking about the 1970 Oldsmobile Toronado GT, a vehicle many consider to be the most powerful production Oldsmobile ever built. 400 horsepower, from the factory, in 1970. That number alone puts the Toronado GT in rare company. And what makes it even more remarkable is that it achieved this not as a traditional rear-wheel drive muscle car, but as a front-wheel drive personal luxury coupe. Even by today's standards, that's an unusual combination. In its own time, it was downright radical. The 1970 model year also marked the end of an era. This was the final chapter for the first-generation Toronado, a line that began in 1966 with a bold promise to redefine what an American luxury performance car could be. When it debuted, the Toronado stunned the industry with its front-wheel drive layout, massive torque output, and futuristic styling. It was different by design, and for a brief moment, it sold extremely well. But as the years passed, sales gradually declined. By the time the second generation arrived in 1971, the Toronado had grown larger, heavier, and far more conventional. It shared more components with General Motors' full-size platforms and lost much of the experimental spirit that made the original cars so distinctive. That's why many enthusiasts view the 1970 Toronado as the last true expression of the original vision. Looking at the exterior, you can see how the design evolved by the end of the decade. Early Toronados were sharp, angular, and daring, with hidden headlights and dramatic body contours. By 1970, some of that edge had been softened. The hidden headlamps were gone, replaced by exposed units for the first time in the model's history. In their place came a massive power dome that stretched nearly the full width of the hood, giving the car a stronger, more muscular presence. There's a subtle catwalk between the hood and the fenders, along with a pronounced center crease that runs down the length of the car. The blade-like fenders remain, but the wheel arches are more rounded and integrated into the body. Instead of sharply cut openings, they blend smoothly into the surrounding surfaces, suggesting Oldsmobile was aiming for a more refined mainstream appeal. The Toronado GT package added its own visual identity. Up front, a GT badge sits just above the driver's side headlamp, quietly announcing that this isn't a standard Toronado. Along the sides, bold striping outlines the wheel arches, an exclusive feature of the GT that visually emphasizes the car's size and stance. Around back, factory cutouts for the dual exhaust further set the GT apart. Beginning in 1969, Toronados also gained small rear winglets, or mini-fins, which carried over into 1970. These subtle details helped visually tie the rear of the car to the aggressive front-end design. Whether you love them or not, they're part of what gives the late first-generation Toronado its unique character. One styling element that remains controversial is the vinyl roof. By 1970, vinyl tops had become extremely popular, and many Toronados were ordered with them. From a business standpoint, they were highly profitable for manufacturers and dealers alike. From a design standpoint, many enthusiasts feel they disrupt the clean lines of the car. Without the vinyl roof, the Toronado's proportions look more cohesive and timeless, especially when paired with a rich metallic paint color. Step inside, and the interior tells a more complicated story. While the Toronado still offered comfort and space, cost-cutting had begun to creep in. Compared to the bold and imaginative cabin of the 1966 model, The 1970 interior feels more restrained. Faux wood grain trim is everywhere, and unfortunately, it doesn't do the car many favors. The material looks artificial and unnecessary, especially in a vehicle that already has such a strong personality. That said, the layout does have its advantages. Thanks to the front-wheel drive configuration, there's no transmission tunnel, resulting in a flat front floor that enhances the sense of space. The seats, upholstered in a vinyl and cloth combination, are reasonably supportive and feature stitched detailing that still holds up visually. Many examples were well optioned, with power windows and headrests becoming increasingly common by this time. Trunk space, however, was always a compromise. While the trunk is wide and fairly deep, it lacks height, making it difficult to stack luggage upright. This was one of the inherent trade-offs of the Toronado's drivetrain layout, and likely one reason later generations moved to more conventional platforms. Now we come to the heart of the story. What truly defines the 1970 Toronado GT is what lies under the hood. For this final year, Oldsmobile offered the W34 engine, a 455 cubic inch, high-compression V8 rated at 400 gross horsepower. This was not only the most powerful engine available in the Toronado, but arguably the most powerful production engine Oldsmobile ever offered. And remarkably, it was exclusive to this model line. You couldn't get this exact configuration in any other Oldsmobile. The additional power came primarily from a more aggressive camshaft, giving the engine a stronger personality while still retaining the smoothness Oldsmobile was known for. Visually, however, the engine bay doesn't look especially dramatic. There are no bold decals or special paint treatments to hint at what's hiding beneath. It's a sleeper, in the truest sense. Interestingly, buyers didn't need to order the full GT package to get the W34 engine. Any 1970 Toronado could be optioned with it. But without the GT, you missed out on the dual exhaust cutouts, the unique striping, and the complete visual package that made the car feel special. If you were going to commit to the engine, most buyers felt it made sense to go all the way. It's also important to remember the broader context. 1970 was a peak year for horsepower across General Motors. Cadillac's Eldorado came standard with a 500 cubic inch V8, producing 400 horsepower. Muscle cars throughout GM's lineup were reaching their final unrestricted forms before emissions regulations and insurance pressures changed everything. What set the Toronado GT apart was how it delivered that power. A front-wheel drive luxury coupe with muscle car numbers was something no other manufacturer was offering at the time. For years, the Toronado remained overlooked by collectors. That's beginning to change. Clean, well-preserved examples are becoming increasingly difficult to find, especially GT models. Recent sales show strong appreciation, with solid driver-quality cars reaching around $40,000, and top-condition examples commanding even more. Collectors are starting to recognize the significance of the 1970 Toronado GT, not just for its rarity, but for what it represents. It's the culmination of a bold experiment, the final expression of a design philosophy that prioritized innovation over convention. The first-generation Toronado was never perfect. Build quality wasn't always on par with Oldsmobile's full-size sedans, and even early road tests noted issues with rattles and fit. But despite its flaws, the Toronado offered something no other car did: a unique blend of luxury, engineering ambition, and serious performance. So the question remains, is the 1970 Oldsmobile Toronado GT the greatest Oldsmobile ever built? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below. And if you enjoy deep dives into automotive history like this one, don't forget to subscribe to Classic Car Chronicles, because the greatest cars of the past deserve to be remembered and ranked.